What's going on, guys? My name is Richard and welcome back to the stock analysis video. And this week, Fiverr is my stock of the week after another strong performance, and this stock just keeps hitting both relative strength and price new highs every single week. And it's been pretty volatile, but overall this is one of the top performers of 2020, and it really deserves to have a video dedicated to this stock and analyzing its performance and the driving factors behind that performance. So first things first, in this video, which is sponsored by Marketsmith, we'll talk about the fundamentals as well as the overall kind of chart pattern. And we'll also talk about some different articles as well as visit the stock's website and discuss what this company actually does. And then to round out the video, we'll go back to TC2000 and talk about potential setups for Fiverr and what you can expect going forward if you are a current shareholder or are looking to get into this stock. So let's dive right in. And if you do enjoy my analysis, please go ahead and leave a like down below in the video. It really helps me out and my channel. And of course, subscribe if you're looking forward to more videos just like this every single week. So first things first, let's go and check out the earnings and sales growth going back the past 3 quarters. And taking a look at this, you can see that this most recent quarter was its first profitable quarter with earnings up 163%, sales up 82%, and return on equity down 3.1%. And the past few quarters, you can see it wasn't profitable, but did have very solid sales growth at about 40% the past 3 quarters. And taking a look at the annual EPS estimates, you can see in 2020, it's just supposed to be profitable. And then in 2021, it's supposed to get a big boost up 211%, up to 59 cents a share, although revisions are down. And overall, the EPS rating is a 68, the Group RS is an A, the SMR rating is a C, the accumulation distribution is an A-, and the overall composite rating is a 98. And looking at the fund ownership numbers, you can see a nice increasing trend with a big jump the past 2 quarters, and you already have 3 high-quality funds investing into this stock. So taking a look at the chart, you can see that overall, it's in a nice overall uptrend with price trending above the 21 EMA, the purple line here, as well as the 50 SMA, the red line here. And you can also see that the RS line has been hitting new all-time highs since this point right here before the breakout above the pivot of 126.33. And overall, you can see it's 360% from the most recent pivot, the stage 1 consolidation right here, with a pivot at 35.13. So overall, it's acting beautifully. You can see that while the stock market was correcting, the XPX right here, this stock was going flat. And then once we had the pressure lifted off the overall market, it really started trending and producing some excellent gains. So with that said, let's go over to a few different articles and discuss what this company actually does. And overall, Fiverr, in my view, is a play on e-commerce and also the future of work because it's a place for consultants and people who want to kind of make some extra money on the side to go and kind of advertise their services. And it's also a place for companies to kind of look for extra help when they need it on different projects. And overall, you can see that I've got a few different articles lined up here, as well as Fiverr's website. And starting with this article from Seeking Alpha, the quick summary is Fiverr is in the right place at the right time with a massive runway for continued long-term growth as the nature of remote and digital work evolves. And they say that the valuation has climbed rapidly, but the valuation remains reasonable given the long runway and the total addressable market for this company. And overall, you discuss a few different things here. You can see that there's some potential for volatility here due to the US election season. I always say to just follow the price and let that be your guide. And that news is noise, so keep that in mind. And overall, this company has been one of the biggest winners of 2020, but still it's not that big. It's only a 4.88 billion market cap company. So still, in my view, a lot of room to grow. And you can see that its revenue growth is right at the top of potential companies, along with strong growth companies like Peloton, DDOG, HDNP, and these other potential winners up here, which I'm also interested in as well. And scrolling down, you've also got this graphic right here, which I think sums things up very well. On this side, you've got kind of working and employment in terms of a Fiverr future versus the status quo. So that is kind of the main points from this Seeking Alpha article. And let's move on to this short article from the Motley Fool. And overall, it's about this It Starts Here campaign that Fiverr has just started, where they talk about 3 small businesses that have used Fiverr's freelancers to really find success in the difficult COVID-19 market environment. So you can kind of read the details for yourself. This article will be linked in the description. And let's talk about what this company actually does by visiting its website. And overall, you can see that you can search up here for any services that you would want. And you've also got different categories in here: graphics and design, digital marketing, writing and translation, video animation, and some other arts and related services over here. So I think this is a good place if you're looking to market your services. You can make some extra money on the side. And they've also got this Fiverr for Business, which they recently launched, that is trying to tailor kind of their services to the more professional companies. So if somebody's looking for an SEO optimization expert, you can kind of broadcast your services on here, and Fiverr will hook you up with a company in need for that service. So that's kind of the story and fundamentals behind Fiverr as a company. And in my view, I think that this space, the e-commerce for services, will continue to grow in the next few years. And I think Fiverr is the main player in this space. You've also got different companies like Upwork, but I think Fiverr is kind of the go-to. So with that covered, let's transition over to the technicals. And overall, Fiverr has been one of the most successful stocks of 2020, up 587%. And if we go to a monthly chart, you can see it's yet another example of a successful kind of IPO breakout from that first green line. So with IPOs, you've often got this first kind of initial 50 to 100% gain, but then it needs time to consolidate and allow time for institutions to kind of do their research. And then at that point, when you've got a nice consolidation below that kind of green line, that could be the first potential entry. And then you really want to get interested when it breaks through that first IPO green line on volume, as you can see that Fiverr did right here in this month. So overall, I really like the setup. And now let's go over to a weekly chart and take a look at that trend. And let's actually go to this tab right here. You can see that throughout this entire move, Fiverr has been in a yellow band pattern with the price trending above the 10-week and 30-week moving averages. And in this pattern, I always like to look for pullbacks to those key moving averages and look for great low risk entry points like this right here. So now switching over to a daily chart, let's talk about the recent kind of consolidation and also potential entries that you could take up if it gives you that chance. So overall, you can see it moved up strongly and then hit resistance right here at about 126, and then kind of went sideways as the overall market was experiencing some trouble. And this was a clear sign of relative strength, and it really caught my interest, especially because it was trying to break out into new all-time highs as the overall market was correcting. And at this time, if we go over to this tab right here, you can see I've got the RS line plotted here. And even as the overall market was correcting, it was going sideways, and the RS line was actually creeping up while the stock market was still correcting. And a stock that's trying to break out into new all-time highs during a correction is really showing a lot of relative strength, and that is a potential leader that you need to keep an eye on. So given that it's a potential leader, I would go back to a main chart and try to find a pullback buy near the 21 EMA. And it did give a couple entries. You can see a teal dot on the 9th. You've also got one here, and then also here right at all-time highs. And overall, I didn't catch this one personally, but I am keeping a close eye on it to see if it pulls back to 21 EMA, forms another teal dot, green dot entry, and then potentially I would take up a position. And overall, this is a great example of an IPO green line breakout, and also a reason for kind of holding a stock until it really breaks that 50-day moving average, because you can see that it first broke out above that moving average right here and has advanced over 450% since that point. So if you do catch a winner like this, for instance, LVGO, or you've also got Fastly here, try to sell if you catch it early, only when it breaks below that key 50-day moving average. So in summary, the main takeaways for me with respect to Fiverr is to try to find the top stocks in the new and upcoming industry groups that are showing very strong relative strength during a correction, because those stocks can easily take off and increase over 30% in just a matter of a few weeks once that market pressure is off. And then once the overall market resumes its uptrend, these stocks, which were right at all-time highs, can really take off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please go ahead and leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys in future videos.